Crosshairs only cares about one person, himself. Crosshairs chooses to be independent by choice so he can avoid danger even if his allies are in danger. Crosshair's occupation is the Autobot paratrooper and an excellent marksman, the Autobot sniper. His power and skills include expert with guns and parachutes. He's an excellent marksman and also a demolition expert. His hobbies include fighting the Decepticons and talking smack. His main goals are to return to Cybertron with his Autobot leaders and help Cad Yegar and his family save the world. When the chips are down, Crosshairs is the kind of guy you want on your team. He's self-loving and more than a bit of a jerk, arrogant and cocky. Crosshairs is a paratrooper who is a mouthful of snark with a bad attitude, harboring a desire just to be on his own or otherwise be in charge for himself, reporting to only himself, Crosshairs. Crosshairs is still a crackshot who always hits the ground running and makes mice meat out of Decepticons with his firearms before they even know what hit him. When the chips are down, he'll come through at the end for his fellow Autobots. At the end of the day, Crosshairs is loyal to the Autobot team and the Autobot cause. Crosshairs had arrived on Earth sometime after the Decepticon invasion of Chicago and assisted B and Optimus Prime on a mission to track and eliminate Decepticon survivors in Indonesia. The Decepticons would retreat, but Crosshairs had placed a tracking device with doubled as a bomb on their enemy boss, claiming a sneak attack by one bot would catch the enemy off guard. In a large part, this was done to show off his personal skills, since Crosshairs had felt that humans could not be trusted anymore. And it was the jumpstart for the Autobots knowing that the rules had possibly changed. Crosshairs, Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. Crosshairs was among the Autobots who went into hiding on Earth when Harold Alliger of Cemetery Wind began hunting down the Autobots. Crosshairs joined up with Drift, Hound, and B, and remained hidden until Optimus Prime returned to them. Crosshairs expressed joy and faith when their leader, Optimus Prime, had returned, saying he always believed that he would, never doubted it, but still grumbled about the treatment of the Autobots at the hands of the humans. Crosshairs, along with Hound, immediately tried to kill Cad Yegar and his family, but Optimus restrained them, explaining that this was a part of helping to protect him from Cemetery Wind, Alliger, and that they were all now targets. That night, Crosshairs had made it a desire to strike out his own after Drift and B started fighting, but after Optimus fell, as the gravity of the situation began to sink in, Crosshairs will learn about the death of Leadfoot, witnessing the death on the wall of the stone, and join the plan with Cad and the other fellow Autobots to annihilate KSI. When Cad discovered Ratchet's head being melted and scrapped apart for metal, Optimus furiously rallied the Autobots into action, anger, and passion. Crosshairs had joined shooting up KSI and was prepared to kill Joshua Joyce on sight, but after a demoralizing speech from the human, Optimus ordered a retreat. Crosshairs was disappointed along with his friend Hound. The group made it for Chicago, where they snuck aboard Lockdown's vessel. Crosshairs intentionally refused to take part in the rescue mission, asking what was in it for him. But after some aggressive negotiation with Hound, Crosshairs would help join the mission. Crosshairs helped sabotage some of the ship, causing the anchors to release, which the humans would use to escape in rescuing Tessa. He warned Hound against messing with the alien creatures on the ship. They would soon find their leader, Optimus Prime, captured and hanging in a cell, who instructed them to attach the part of Lockdown's ship, that the vessel would be used for their personal use, only to be detached from the ship that he was being held prisoner at. Crosshair soon commanded the Orbital Assault Carrier, using it to pick up B and the humans. He flew through the skies of Chicago until deciding to enter the fray personality and arrogance, but only to pursue Cad, teaching him how to use the weaponry. Later, Crosshairs would take many of the Lockdown's henchmen upon paratrooping into the skies with his excellent marksman skills. Crosshairs was too happy to leave Earth when Optimus decided they would leave permanently, and that their mission on Earth was done. He remained aboard the ship stolen from Lockdown. Unfortunately, their ride was shot down. Crosshairs decided he had enough, being that the underdog role that they had taken was not for him, quoting saying, "The underdogs suck, and the humans deserve what was coming to them," before asking Optimus, "What's the play, Prime?" Crosshairs was both astonished and annoyed that Optimus recruited the aid of the Dinobots and retreated to the sidelines while Optimus beat some authority into Grimlock. Upon seeing Grimlock's massive dinosaur mode, he backed away in fear. The Dinobots joined up with the Autobots once Optimus dominated Grimlock, astonished and annoyed that Optimus recruited the aid of the Dinobots. Witnessing Optimus take on Grimlock, stunned and shocked at the same time, he knew that he was witnessing the greatness of his leader, Optimus Prime. Crosshairs took on many of the KSI Transformers with Scorn. Later, helped escort the seeds safely. Crosshairs would bid farewell to his friend Scorn, who he nicknamed Spike, and then told his new friends that he'd ride with him anytime. When Optimus departed into space, he ordered Crosshairs and the other remaining Autobots to protect Earth, that bidding no harm to the Yegar family. Crosshairs, Transformers the Last Night. Years after Optimus had left Earth in mission to find his creators, Crosshairs then had taken refuge at Cade's junkyard with the other Autobots. He occupied his time by flying around a small fighter craft and continued to boost his desire to be a leader, feeling that the Autobots were getting soft hiding in the junkyard. When Cade, Hound, and B returned with the altercation with TRF, he proclaimed himself as a leader like himself would have been a far better choice and more useful on the battlefield than Bumblebee. Crosshairs declared that B would never be Optimus Prime after witnessing the dominance he portrayed against Grimlock. The argument would turn physical as they began to fight and wrestle fiercely. They were in for a non-boring day when the Decepticons and TRF had discovered their location and where they were hiding. He and the others rolled out to a nearby town where a trap had been set. Upon arrival, Drip discovered a TRF tracking device on B, and Crosshair scowled him, an immature young bot, for leading them enemies right to their location. Crosshairs, B, Drift, and Grimlock then fended off the remaining Decepticons. This CPO ripoff would be Cogman, who was harassing Cade. Instead, surprisingly, a strong headmaster grabbed his hand and twisted off the fingers sideways, causing him to collapse and scream in pain. When Cade and B chose to go to England with Cogman, Crosshairs quickly declared himself in charge and referred to Isabel as there would be no late-night bedtime stories. Later, when Cybertron arrived to Earth, he and the other Autobots were quite happy to see their Autobot ship, aka Lockdown's old ship, delivered by their one that they couldn't stand, Day Trader. They arrived at Stonehenge and reunited with Optimus, who rallied them, the humans, and the Guardian Knights to protect Earth. Crosshairs would be remotivated after hearing the inspiral speech of Optimus Prime. Knights, Autobots, this cannot and will not be the end. To save Earth and her people, we are going to steal Quintessa's staff. Only you, Vivian, can take it back. I will lead the way into the chamber, and when the account of the ages attends into the cosmos, let them know who exists long after. This was our finest hour. The Prime would later blast right into the skies into heaven, only to head to Cybertron. As Optimus flew up to lead the charge, Crosshairs declared his administration of his leader, whose speeches always give him goosebumps every time. In the final battle, he flew an orbital assault carrier and engaged the airborne of the enemy Decepticons. He managed to avoid being shot down by Infernicus and provide cover fire as Optimus and the Autobots would rush to the control center. After the battle was won, he returned to his home, Primus, with the other Autobots. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Prime Speculator. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Last Prime Speculator. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that bell and that notification squad to stay updated with all of LPS's Redemption series and all of my videos. To my subscribers, again, I love you so much. Make sure to hit that like button again. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're a fan of Transformers. We dig deep in the lore of Transformers. This is LPS delivering you another Redemption series. Peace.